If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.
Hello guys, I'm Austin Lambert. I'm here at WNST Padonia Station. I'm with Drew Forrester and Bob Haney, and we want to thank Padonia Station for hosting the finals of the Coors Light King or Queen of Baltimore sports. Remember, you can come here and hear live music from the hottest bands every Saturday. Padonia Station is open from 11 to 2 a.m. and visit PadoniaStation.com for special events. All right, Bob, I know you're a big Terrapin fan, and as mentioned on one of our earlier guys about the James Franklin coach and waiting situation in Maryland. I know some teams like Texas that have finished in the top 5 recently have done that with Will Muschamp. But do you feel, I mean, no doubt that Ralph Regent's done a good job there, but do you feel that the success they've had warrants having a coach in waiting from someone on the staff?
I think the coach in waiting with James Franklin is a tool, if you will, to prevent him from moving on to another situation. And he had been offered an assistant coaching job at the NFL. Other collegiate institutions were interested in James Franklin's services. So what Maryland did by making James Franklin the coach in waiting was giving him a motivation to stay in College Park.
So you don't feel that maybe hurts the opportunities they will have, say, in 3 or 4 years after he retires? There might not be better options out there at that time?
Well, James Franklin obviously thinks that staying in Maryland is his best option. Well, and knowing that he is the coach in waiting, as you said, is his ultimate goal to be a coach, or a head coach at the Division I level.
Right, but let's say Maryland goes 6-6 over the next 3 or 4 years. Do you feel like that would change the Terrapin Athletic Department's feelings on that?
They could go 11-1, and that could change things too, because Ralph Regent might not want to retire as quickly as some people would assume he would. So James Franklin being the coach in waiting, it's a move that I think benefits both parties at this time. Is it etched in stone? Absolutely not. But obviously, James Franklin is very important to what Maryland's trying to accomplish as a football school.
All right, now moving on to Drew. I know you're very excited about Matt Peters being called up to the board's team. Let's actually look at this in a way maybe we don't want to. Let's say he comes up and doesn't get well, and maybe isn't calling good games. Maybe is he here for good at this point by bringing him up now, no matter what happens the next month or two? I mean, is he up for the rest of the season, or could he possibly be back at AAA at some point?
I don't think you could envision him going back at all, unless there's some completely unthinkable month-long stretch where he's in 053. Why would they do that? I don't see any reason why you wouldn't bring him up and just let him catch. If you want Greg Zahn to stay, reasonably active, and you want to let him catch once every 2 weeks, that's fine. But let Wieters catch and put Zahn in there on those Sunday games when they lose on purpose. But go ahead and give Wieters a job, get it over with, just like they've given Reimold a job, and they can do something with Felix P.A. now, like move him on and move one of these catchers on and give Wieters a job.
I don't think he's going to do that poorly, but you just never know what's going to happen in the future. The guy gets called up for the first time. I know a week ago or so you were very excited about the changes they had at Pimlico over the Preakness. I was just wondering if it really came down to having a Preakness that maybe had some growths there acting crazy and not having a Preakness at Baltimore anymore at all, what would be your choice there?
First of all, I don't know that that's how you would make the decision. I think the biggest issue from this Preakness that hasn't really been widely reported, unless like Nestor and I, maybe even Bob to some degree, have talked to some of the sponsors. The sponsors are wildly enthusiastic about what they saw out there on 2 Saturdays ago, because none of them wanted to be attached to this maniacal behavior anymore. And that includes the alcohol people, that includes the folks who are doing the food, that includes the computer companies who are out there signing checks to be sponsors. None of them want to be associated with it. So to say, would you rather have people throwing beer cans at one another trying to hurt each other, or there not be a Preakness at all? I think that would really depend on what the sponsor, if the sponsors don't like it and they dry up, there's not going to be a race anyway. So I still contend they did the right thing by coming up with this policy. Their goal, and Glenn and I talked about this a lot the day afterwards, or 2 days afterwards, their goal is to figure out a better way of entertaining people other than bringing out ZZ Top and Buck Cherry. That's the real issue for them. The issue isn't about alcohol. The issue is for your people $50 and the beer's $1, you still have to have something to entertain them from 8 in the morning until race starts.
It's a totally legitimate opinion. I just think maybe they need to learn something from what goes on at Churchill, where they have an infield set up where it's just known by everybody and it's policed in a certain way, that half the infield is a party situation where stuff happens like it's been happening in previous. The other half is a family situation. You can get away with a whole lot more stuff on the third and fourth turns than you get on the first and second turns. It seems to make everybody happy. Well, I'm glad I've had Bob Haney and Drew Forrester here. We'd like to give a special thanks to
I like Buck Cherry.
He likes Buck Cherry. We're speaking of family friendly. Weren't they family friendly? But anyway, we'd like to thank the Cruise Lady for providing the grand prize for this contest, the 2009 Royal Caribbean Cruise for Two from Baltimore to Bermuda. If you want to go see the Cruise Lady, she's in Camden, 3041 O'Donnell Street. Thanks a lot. We'll talk to you next time on WNST.
If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.